Hello guys, welcome to Tea and Style with Gabby Eckert, where we'll be meeting courageous women who are chasing their dreams and answer their style questions over a cup of tea. Joining us today is my dear friend Marisa Lonic. She helps busy moms juggle mom life, work life, wife life, the blank life, like all the things. Her time management and goal achievement strategies have helped so many women with overwhelm and to turn their dreams into reality, even though they thought it would never happen. Marisa, will you spill the tea and tell us all about yourself, girlfriend?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me, first and foremost. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, I'm Marisa Lonic. I'm the founder of Mama Work It. As Gabby said, we support women in the juggle, wearing all the hats, juggling all the roles that we have with time management, biz management strategies. I lovingly refer to these things as momagement, because I think when you do become a mom, it changes. It changes how you have to manage your time, manage your business, manage your priorities, right? It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my philosophy. I'm a mom of 4 kiddos, 4 boys, if that makes any difference. It's a pretty energy full home, if that's even a word. I just made it one. Anyway.
There you go, girl. That's awesome.
So yeah.
And Marisa, you have just been a light and an inspiration, just sharing so many helpful tips about mamahood, business life as I've embarked on this journey of new mamahood. I'm actually celebrating, as this recording is taking place, my daughter's first birthday. So I was just sharing with Marissa, I feel like it was a blink of an eye and Ella's 1. And guys, she is truly amazing. But I really want you guys to hear her story. So Marissa, you spent like 15 years in corporate leadership positions, right? And then you shifted gears to doing this full time. Can you share with us your business journey and like, what did that even look like for you? What was the purpose of your shift?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And gosh, when you say 15 years out loud, I'm like, ooh, because I still feel really young.
You are, girl. You are.
But yeah, so I was in the corporate world for a long time. I did various corporate positions, different leadership jobs. I worked in training and development, worked in operational management, customer success. I mean, you name it. I learned a lot in that world, and it worked out for me for a long time. Like, I was that working mom. I was in the pencil skirt and the heels and running to catch the train and like doing the drop offs and all of those things, and I had it together for the most part. I mean, was it easy? No. I mean, I think working motherhood for anyone has its challenges and its struggles, but I found a lot of ways, a lot of systems, a lot of mindset shifts to make this work. And that's where my business was born. It was born actually alongside my life, my world, my personal experiences. When I was a corporate working mom, I started blogging. I like to write. It was actually more of a creative outlet for me. And I would write tips and, stories, sometimes funny stories, because that's just what life is, right? Mm-hmm. And I did that for a little while. I actually told no one about that blog when I first started doing it, because I was really just doing it for me. So even though I was writing to share and help other people, I was really scared to actually put that into the world. Fast forward a little while, my 3rd son is born. I'm on maternity leave. I'm going back to work. It was challenging. I mean, I think anytime you return to work, no matter what number kid it is in your birth order, it is a struggle, and it was for me. And I thought, all right, well, I want to channel my energy into something positive. I want to start some sort of business. I'd always had that entrepreneurial bug. I'd definitely taken a stab at entrepreneurship in the past, and it hadn't come to fruition for me yet. And I wasn't sure what direction I was going to go with it. And then the blog came to mind. And I was like, I got this blog just sitting here. Why don't I actually do something with it? And it's such a passion of mine to be supporting women in this space. So I started doing things with that blog to make it to monetize it. So I held events, like in-person events, to support the community. I wrote my first book. I published my first course. And really from there, it started to grow. And I thought, I'm really excited about this. And I still was juggling the corporate world role, and I still really enjoyed that part of my life too. So I wasn't ready to quite let that go yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this for about 3 years, juggling the two worlds, adding to my family, had another pregnancy, another baby. And at some point in the journey, it started to feel misaligned for me. It started to feel like I was really being pushed in the entrepreneurial direction and really being pulled away from my corporate role. And once that misalignment started to come to be, and I'd get that nagging voice to really be like more excited and focused on the business and less about the corporate job, everything started to feel hard, right? Like work started to feel hard. My patience level was a little lower. Like I wasn't feeling like I was thriving like I once had been. And I knew deep down inside, intuitively, it was because I was being led on this path. So in 2021, I made a very scary decision to leave a very stable, very successful career in the corporate world, like earning 6 figures, all the things I'd worked really hard for, that I had wanted for so long, that I had achieved, to step fully into my business, which I was established. I was doing lots of things in there. I had a podcast. I had, great things happening there, but I certainly wasn't yet at the level that I had worked really hard for in the corporate world. So it was a really big leap of faith, a big risk, so to say.
Yeah.
But here I am, about a year and a half later, and I am just so happy with my decision, because I think when you fully embrace who you are, when you really listen to what you need and what you want and step into that, as scary as it is, and I know you know this because you left a career too, Gabby, to pursue your business, like it all kind of fits together and works out, right? And so when you follow that calling, that, call it what you want, intuitive nudge, nudging, like nagging voice, whatever it is to you, when you follow that and you fully step into it, things just work out, and they have been. And I love what I do. I love that I get to support women in this way. I love doing speaking. I love writing. I love coaching. And these are all things I get to do every day. So I wake up so excited to do what I do. I get to balance motherhood alongside that, which is something I always wanted more flexibility in my schedule to do. And I'd find ways to get it. But now I feel like I have the ultimate power to do that.
I love that. Oh my goodness, Marisa, thank you so much for sharing that story. And I know there are women out there just like us who maybe are juggling a side hustle or something that they really, really love and just have such a heart for and a desire to live out, but are scared to maybe take that leap of faith and pursue it. And I think that your words are just going to be so encouraging to so many. And Marisa, I love too that you've made such a difference in women's lives. Like you've left such a legacy too for your boys to really see, look at what mama's doing. Like she did something really scary and she was really brave and she is impacting lives. So, love your story and thank you for sharing, Marisa. And then Marisa, I know you have a style question for me today. So what is it, my friend?
Yeah. So Gabby, working in an online business, as you know, we do a lot of Zoom calls, right? Mm-hmm. We're on camera a lot. I do this for my podcast. I do this with clients. We're on a Zoom call right now. And I would love, love, love to know from you, the style expert, what are some of your best tips for looking good on Zoom, on video, on camera?
Oh my goodness, Marisa, you're right. I feel like too, ever since, 2020 COVID things, I feel like we have been on camera more now than ever. And I just don't see it disappearing. I see it being like the way that things are just done, right? Like relationships form, networking events are happening online. Both of us have memberships online and are teaching online, and we're in front of the camera so much as we build our businesses. And so I think this question is absolutely perfect. And I'm going to start a little bit outside of style, because I feel like if these things are wrong, they kind of mess everything else up, even though you have an amazing outfit on. So let me start there, and then I'll go into the nitty gritty of the style aspect. But first of all, I want us to think about the location that we are doing Zoom. And very specifically, I want us to pay attention to the lighting of the space when we are going in front of the camera. So ideally, we want to be in front of a window, meaning that we're looking at the window and the sun is shining very evenly on our faces, right? So we have a beautiful glow. We seem very healthy. If we don't have a window in our space, there are great ring lights out there that will give you full spectrum lighting. So again, it just smooths out everything. You don't want to sit with a window behind you so that you look backlit and you look like the ghost, like just your figure and then bright light in the background. But all of this is so important because it can be distracting when you're on camera. You also want to pay attention to where the camera is faced. You want to make sure that you're not ever looking down on your audience or like having to look up at them or like it's pointing in weird angles. And then also making sure that you're kind of, for the most part, the center of the frame, okay? I also have to mention this because especially if you are in business, this is very important for you. And I will tell you, this is a personal experience that I personally had when I was looking to hire someone. And literally everything we do in our business, and I feel like Marisa, you would co-sign on this with me, is a representation of our brand and our business, right? So including us showing up on Zoom, especially when we're in a networking event. So I had met this woman and really liked her vibe, if you will, but just something did not feel right. And I'll tell you what it is. I wanted I was thinking about hiring her for something, but her background really threw me for a loop. It was a extremely messy bookcase. Like I'm not trying to be a neat freak because I'm not a neat freak, but it was extremely messy. And then she had like oversized stuffed animals shoved in corners, snow globes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you are a dear. Like you are so sweet. I adore you, but I just can't get past your, like in my head, I'm thinking this, like, I can't get past this background and how what you're saying and what you can offer me does not look like what you're presenting in your background for something that you are supposed to be attending for representation of your brand, right? Like I could see if you're on a FaceTime call and you're chatting with your girls, who cares? But like you are actively trying to recruit clients. So keep that in mind if you are in business, that your background, everything is a good, clear representation of your brand and your brand story. So next, let's go on to another truth that I want everyone to understand. And I've said this before, and a lot of people don't know it, but the fashion industry knows it well, because every time they do photo shoots or commercials, there's always some sort of modification, whether that's lighting, whether that's invisible tape, whether that's a seamstress on hand, whether that's posing. Our clothes do not look the same on camera as they do on the mirror. That's just fact. So what you see before you in the mirror can translate differently on camera. So I always recommend, whether you're going on Zoom, whether you're doing a recording, whether you're doing a photo shoot, have yourself plan out your outfits, wear it in the exact same space, in the exact lighting of where you will be attending your Zoom call, your recording, or your photo shoot, and make sure that it is translating properly on the camera. So there you go. Number one, those are easy, right? Okay, a few do's and don'ts in regard to style. You want to make sure that your outfit fits and flatters your body shape. And I understand that some of us have this style where we love flowy, baggy tops, and that could be part of our style. But I want us to consider when we are on camera, that we really check those out, especially, try those on again in front of the camera and make sure that they are communicating what you want to be communicated on the camera, because overly flowy and baggy pieces can add a lot of visual weight that is not really there, but it's appearing so on camera, if that is making sense. I would also suggest avoid loud, busy prints, especially houndstooth, very thin pinstripes, gingham. I recently just watched a training, and this gentleman had pinstripes all over his outfit, and as he was moving, it almost looked like we were in like some scary like festival with the mirrors. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so distracting. Like, I wish someone would have shared with him this tip. So some of these very loud, tiny, tiny patterns, they make these weird distortions in the camera. And who wants that? When you're trying to put your best foot forward, you don't want anything distracting from what you're saying. And of course, like, I would pay attention to my top. I feel like this is just something to be aware of, like just to be more aware of what you like as far as neckline, what you like as far as fabric, what you like as far as sleeves, because that's really what's going to be showcased on camera. So like for me, I really enjoy like a flutter sleeve, something that does not hit directly very tightly on my arm for a short sleeve. I like that it's a little loose, especially on camera, and fluttery like this. So take note of that and kind of vet your clothes a bit and say, hey, these are the pieces that I've tried in front of camera. These are the things that I'm really loving as far as fit that I can wear on my Zoom calls or for my recording. The next thing I would say is to pick clothing in your power colors. And I have such a newfound love for color. It is my favorite thing now, because as we went through a really crazy time with COVID and with a bunch of things in our world, I really have seen the power of color and how that impacts how we feel, our energy, our mood, and how we show up, and how people respond back to us as well. I'm also in Jersey, and a lot of us love neutrals. So a great tip for business owners is like, hey, if you're wearing your power color, you're most likely you're going to stand out, because everyone's wearing camel, black, gray, and navy. Like that's all we're wearing over here. So, I really suggest like wearing clothes, especially tops that are in your color palette, getting a color analysis done so you can really understand that colors that look like they were made for you, that make your features glow, that don't allow you to look so washed out on camera. That's the biggest complaint. Like, oh my gosh, I look so washed out and I have makeup on. Some of that could be just that you're wearing the wrong colors for your skin undertone. And then last but certainly not least, don't underestimate the power of a good lipstick and adding some accessories to your look. I feel like it adds some, interest. It really looks like you put effort into it. And again, it just draws the eye to your face, adds some color. Oh, this is not last but least. This one's actually the most important. Are you ready, Marisa?
I'm so
The
ready.
most important. It has nothing to do with your outfit, but it is like the best accessory. Smile. And Marisa, you do this so well. Smile. Because we all know, like, if we're attending a training or we're in a networking event and you are that grim, like, sad person, or like the person who just does not want to be there and you look miserable, like, you are just not looking great on the camera. You're not seeming warm and open and ready for business and ready for connection and ready for service. And so I would say, along with your lipstick, with maybe your earrings and necklace, whichever you choose, pop on a smile too. And I feel like you'll just look like $1,000,000. So I hope those tips were helpful for you, Marisa. And I hope they were super practical, that you can kind of do that now with a lot of the clothes that you have already in your wardrobe, and just vet through them and say, hey, these are the ones I just love for on-camera purposes.
So helpful, so incredibly helpful. Can I ask a very fast follow-up question?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So I love a color that I have and I wear it often and I often get complimented on it. And when I wear it on camera, it looks different. It looks different. So what are your suggestions for that? Like, I don't really love the way it shows up on camera. Should I avoid it?
Yeah, I feel like, okay, I have a top that does that too. For whatever reason, it's green, but when it's on camera, it's blue. And the shade of blue is just so awful on me. And so basically, I just love it for my in-person networking and my in-person meetups. And then I just have stamped it as not being camera appropriate for me because the color changes and it doesn't work with my undertone. It makes me appear very washed out. So I would say, yeah, like I know that you probably love it in person. So wear it to death in person and then just, find something else that you love for the camera.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. I did not choose it for a photo shoot for that reason. So I'm glad I went with that decision.
I think so. And then plus like you use, see, that's the thing too, with a lot of the things that we're doing as entrepreneurs with our photos, with our videos, like a lot of this stuff we reuse. We use it for our website. We use it for content. And it's like, hey, we want to make sure that we are feeling good and we are loving the way that we're coming across on camera because we're going to be using it quite a bit, right? Like it's not like a one and done and then I never have to see it again. Like, no, it's probably going to be in a lot of places.
For sure. Yeah. These tips were so awesome. Thank you, Gabby.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad they were helpful, my friend. Marisa, thank you so much for joining us and for being a guest for our tea and style. And I just wanted to share with everyone, if they want to stalk you, because you mentioned all these amazing opportunities for them to get connected with you. You mentioned a blog. We talked about memberships. So how can they do that? How can they stalk you and how can they connect with you?
Yes. Well, first off, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be a guest. The best way to connect with me would be my website. So it is www.mamaworkit.com. It's MAMA because I know some people spell mama differently. So it's mamaworkit.com. There you can access kind of all the awesome offerings, free, not free, but worth the investment ways to work together. We do have a membership program, as you mentioned. It's called Biz Momager Club, and it is for moms who are in business, who want to slay goals in business and slay goals in motherhood. And we talk all about that stuff. And we have amazing experts in there, like you, Gabby, who join us in the membership program every month. So it's an incredible opportunity to connect, to learn, to grow, to get coached, and to really thrive in all things entrepreneurship and motherhood. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can access that on my website. You can schedule time to connect with me on a breakthrough call, what I like to call them. These are totally free, where we get to know each other and I can give you some helpful, actionable steps on your goals.
Oh yes, guys, reach out to Marisa. Go find her on social. She's awesome. You're going to just love, she makes me laugh. I love all like the little reels that you post sometimes. I'm just cracking up about motherhood. And thank you again for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us for tea tonight, today, tonight, whatever we are today, wherever you are in the world, it's a different time. But thank you for joining us for tea. If you liked the episode, please subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications, and invite your friends to have tea with us soon. The more the merrier. Thank you all and cheers.